A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, a battle of light versus darkness was waged by horse girls. Well, not exactly. The show I'm talking about is Uma Musume Pretty Derby, an anime about real-life horses reimagined as cute horse girls who compete as racers and sometimes perform as idols. As insanely anime as that premise may sound, Uma Musume more closely resembles a hype action and drama show about girls striving to become the best runners in Japan. Over the course of its 3 seasons, we cover classic sports plotlines such as country girls making it big in the city, perseverance over injuries, and childhood friends becoming rivals. But the entry that shone brightest was Road to the Top, a short OVA series that caught my eye for its usage of lighting. Road to the Top focuses on 3 girls: Narita Top Road, the cheery class president who struggles to meet the expectations of her fans and friends; Admire Vega, the loner who feels guilty about enjoying racing; and TM Opera O, a dark horse who loves being overly dramatic. With all 3 storylines delicately wrapped into just 4 episodes, the production team depends on nonverbal storytelling to efficiently communicate the ambience and character dynamics in lieu of more exposition or dialogue. And lighting is one of those cinematic levers you can use to explain those story elements. Recognized as one of the most crucial fundamentals of cinematography, lighting refers to the illumination or light sources in a scene. It encompasses things such as the brightness of a scene, the source of light, and the very meaning of the light itself. This cinematic technique lends itself to setting the mood, directing the viewer's attention, and reflecting the mentality of characters. The primary reason I even wanted to make this video was to bring attention to the way Road to the Top utilizes lighting to define the rivalry between Narita Top Road and Admire Vega. Despite being the 2 main leads of the show, they only share a few conversations with one another. And this is where cinematography comes in to compensate for their limited interactions, portraying them as contrasting figures by association of light and dark respectively. In fact, these associations are even established in the key visual released prior to the anime airing to prime viewers even before the show starts. More specifically, the show utilizes natural lighting. In this context, the light associated with the background or time of day to help tell its narrative. In the show, we'll often see the cheerier and more social Narita Top Road during the daytime. Narita Top Road is often seen radiating light, literally, and her positive influence on her classmates and local community makes her seem like an incarnation of the sun. Meanwhile, we often see the gloomier and introverted Admire Vega training at night or camping outside. Her predilection for solitude and the mystery behind her seriousness matches the similarly mysterious ambience of the twilight hours. Throughout the show, we'll see these characters often distinguished by the brightness of their immediate surroundings, visually establishing contrast. Just by segregating characters' screen time by the period of day, we can easily establish the differences between our leads and their personalities. The importance of natural lighting is further emphasized whenever we delve into Admire Vega's dreamscape. When Admire Vega is deep in reflection about her sister or herself, we are often transported into this dreamlike space where she and her unborn sister can freely run. The truth behind her gloominess is that she feels guilt over enjoying racing, while remembering that her unborn twin sister never had that same opportunity. She feels that she has to run to make up for this perceived sin. We see this in episode 2 when she dreams of watching her sister happily run in the sunlight, but she herself is stuck under the night sky, unmoving. The background in this space is literally split into night and day, the grim reality versus what she believes is the ideal future. It is only in episode 4, when Admire Vega is able to accept her sister's forgiveness, that the backdrop in this dream world is able to transition from night into day. Now guilt-free, the injury threatening her career is magically healed, and Admire Vega can finally smile despite her loss in that race. This relationship between characters and their arcs are expanded upon by the use of practical lighting. In cinematography, this is the usage of light sources physically present in the scene. In episode 1, Admire Vega goes for a run at night. As she pauses in her run for a quick breather, she notably does not step into the spotlight, formed by a nearby street lamp. Since this street lamp is a part of the composition, it's an example of practical lighting, as opposed to some unknown light source from off-camera. She promises that she'll make it up to someone, referencing again that regret she feels towards her unborn twin. When she continues her training, she is seen running out or away from the light. The light here symbolizes some of the warmth and happiness that Admire Vega denies herself. This avoidance of bright light sources by Admire Vega builds upon the affinity with the night that I mentioned previously. It can also represent her friends reaching out towards her. In episode 2, Admire Vega rebuffs Narita Top Road and TM Opera O's friendly invitations for a healthy rivalry. In the next scene, she is shown running towards the stars, her sister in this case, while another street lamp sits just off-center. Once again, she runs away from the high-key or harder sources of light in favor of the more low-key or more diffused sources. Putting the light sources in the shots allows them to be stand-ins or symbols for other plot elements. There's a similar application in episode 4, when Narita Top Road confronts Admire Vega at the school. The former stands under the nearby street lamp, while Admire Vega is notably just outside of its range. Narita Top Road declares her admiration towards Admire Vega, and also promises to win their next race. Narita Top Road is once again somehow glowing, and a shadow of Admire Vega even comments on how bright she is. There's certainly something to be said about the placement of the light source and how illuminating Narita Top Road from the top gives her the appearance of a savior or an angel. The guilt-ridden horse girl dismisses Narita Top Road's comments and once again tries to escape that light. But this time, Narita Top Road holds on and restates her intent to prove that she is Admire Vega's biggest rival. As Narita Top Road walks away, Admire Vega is left frozen under the spotlight. Her shadow splits into two, manifesting a physical crossroad. Suddenly, stepping out of that light is a lot harder than it was before. You don't need these lighting elements to tell your story, the dialogue is clear enough. But the depth they bring to the visuals, the separation they bring to the characters, these all improve the scene's potency. It's evident how much these sources of light bring to the table to elevate the dialogue and communicate the characters' feelings. Beyond association, lighting has more technical applications as well. The arrangement of lighting sources around your subject can also convey meaning. Take this meetup of our three leads prior to their race in episode 1. When Narita Top Road and Admire Vega meet just before leaving the dugout hallway, the side lighting is used to highlight the differences in the characters' emotions. Narita Top Road's face is mostly illuminated by the light from the entrance to the tunnel, complementing her brightness and optimism towards this race. Conversely, Admire Vega has more shadows across her face, reflecting her gloomier outlook. However, when you consider that the two are actually in the same spot and should be similarly lit, this difference becomes more intentional. Differing mentalities, similar positions. Sometimes it is okay to break some of the logic in pursuit of a more artistic or purposeful visual. TM Opera O now suddenly emerges from the tunnel entrance. She is lit from the back this time, creating a more intimidating presence, like a final boss. Her domination is further accentuated by the elevation differences, and it foreshadows that while Narita Top Road and Admire Vega are the expected favorites, TM Opera O may be the unexpected dark horse to win. By just moving around the placement of the lighting around characters, you can significantly enhance the storytelling impact of each scene. Although they may not be live action, Uma Musume and other animated shows still rely on lighting and follow its principles. Lighting is an incredibly versatile tool, and you can significantly impact how a viewer feels or interprets a scene by just adjusting the direction of your light or its color. Road to the Top makes excellent usage of this technique to add depth to the story as well as increase its visual engagement. It was so impressive how they set up a simple relationship between characters and brightness, and used it as a cornerstone for their visual direction and compositions. And lighting is just one of the many great aspects of this show's production. If you haven't already, please consider checking out my favorite entry in the Uma Musume franchise. It's sure to brighten your day.